The one and only Poker Face Ash is finally at our table after waiting for over 2 hours, and what better way to welcome her than a $10 double board bomb pot? So with about 80 bucks in the middle, we go 8 ways to 2 flops. One of them is 5-3 king rainbow, and the other is 4 queen 6 with 2 spades. The big blind fires off a bet of 20 bucks, everybody folds, and when it comes back around to me, I go on and I make the call as I look down at this beautiful 3-5 suited for 2 pair on the top and an open-ended on the bottom with some backdoor flush possibilities. The person to my left calls a 20, and once it folds back to the small blind, he decides to get cray-cray as he check raises it to 100 bucks. The big blind calls the 100 bucks, and even though I love origami, I'm not gonna be able to fold this. I have so much equity here, but the problem is that if I make this call, I'm only gonna have about $200 left behind, which is gonna be less than a pot-sized bet. If you've ever been to a meetup game here at the Hustler Casino, you know that double board bomb pots get incredibly huge, and with this specific hand, I'm willing to risk it for the biscuit. I'm all in for 300 of my hard-earned dinero. It folds to the small blind, who makes the call. The big blind makes the call as well, and with over $1,000 in the middle. $1,000 in the middle, man. This is by far the biggest pot I have ever been involved with in my entire life. We're gonna go on and see 2 turns. One of them is a 10 on the top and an 8 on the bottom. No help to us. The 2 players that remain, they go all in. We're gonna see a full run out. A deuce on the top and a 6 on the bottom does not help us at all. The small blind goes on and shows queen 4 for 2 pair on the bottom. The big blind goes on and shows a whole bunch of nothing, and the small blind and myself are gonna go on and chop it, which is not bad. Not bad of a chop, but call me greedy, but I really wanted to win this whole pot. It doesn't happen, but we're still happy. Woo, baby, look at all that beauty. Yes. Are you ready?
No. Are you ready?
I'm a little ready. Are you ready?
I'm scared.
Are you ready, sir?
Go.
Yes, let's do this. Key, are you ready? What's up, fishes and fishettes? Welcome back to the channel. We're back after a well-needed break. That hand you guys just saw in the intro was from the Poker Face Ash and Suited Superman meetup game held at the Hustler Casino. The blinds were 2-3, maximum buy-in was 500 bucks, but since they don't take EPT at that establishment, we only bought in for 300 bucks. Now, we've played with Suited Superman before when he went ahead and did a meetup game with Cedric, the Poker Traveler, on Instagram. I'll go on and leave a link to that video on the description below. Make sure you check it out if you haven't done so already. We've never played poker with Ash. We've never tossed around some cards with her until today. But before we get into that video, go on and show some love. Click that subscribe button. Follow me on TikTok at FishPoker31 on TikTok. I go live every weekend when I'm playing poker. I usually get banned after an hour because TikTok's terms and conditions and policies are so freaking stupid, but nonetheless, show some love there. Let me shut up and let's get back into our video. For this first hand of the night, I'm under the gun and I've put out a $6 straddle to which everybody folds except our opponent on the small blind, who makes it 20 bucks. Even though I'm clearly aware that I should probably check my hand and see what I have before making this call, I don't. I make the call and decide to play this one blind because I've been doing nothing but folding for what seems like an eternity. So, with about 40 bucks in the middle, we go heads up to see a flop of 9, ace 8, 2 clubs. An ace is definitely in this guy's range since he did bet pre-flop out of the small blind, but a red flag immediately emerges when he goes on and he checks that flop. Now, he knows I haven't seen my hand, and I know that he knows because I announced it at the beginning of the hand, so for him to check after being armed with this kind of 4-1-1 seems a little fishy. I still don't know what I have, so I go on and I check. I'm happy to see a free turn, which comes a 4 of hearts. The fact that our opponent now decides to fire off a bet of 15 bucks is another red flag because that 4 didn't change a damn thing, and if he didn't have anything on the flop, then he absolutely still has nothing on the turn. Even though I haven't seen my hand, I make the call with the intention of blind calling a small river bet, or if he bets big, I'm gonna have to look at my hand and reevaluate my stupid decision of playing this hand blind. With about 70 bucks in the middle, we go heads up to see an ace of clubs on the river, bringing in the front door flush. My opponent now checks, and I'm now 100% certain that he doesn't have an ace. He doesn't have a flush because if he did, I'm pretty sure he would have thrown a bet on the river, especially knowing that I'm still blind. So I'm gonna go on with my read on this one, and even though I haven't seen my hand, I go on and I fire off a bet of 40 bucks in hopes that he folds his nothing, but that's not the case. He reluctantly makes the call, which is not a good feeling for me. I have to turn over my card. I turn over my first one. It's a 4 for a pair of 4s, and he insta-mucks. Hell freaking yeah. We take this one down with a read and a little bit of help from the poker gods.
We're gonna give this guy a 4-second head start. Right? 1, 2, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's insane! He's insane!
Yes. For this next hand of the night, we finally get involved in a hand with the person that we came here to see. We get involved in a hand with Poker Face Ash, and what better way to get involved than by getting dealt 2 juicy aces. Poker Face Ash is under the gun and she's made it 12 bucks. I'm next to act, and of course I'm gonna bump it up, and I do that to the tune of 45 bucks. Everybody folds except Ash, and with about 90 bucks in the middle, we go heads up to see a flop of 4 deuce 5 rainbow. We have a gut shot with our pocket aces, and after Ash checks me, I go on and fire off a bet of 80 bucks. She doesn't think about it for too long before she makes the call, and we go heads up to see a 4 of hearts on the turn. Ash checks again, I fire off a bet of 100 bucks, to which she goes on and waves the white flag and makes the fold. We're gonna go on and take this pot down, hell freaking yeah.
Go.
Hey, how did that swirly thing go? Did that swirly thing work for you? Now I'm under the gun looking down at these beautiful snow women. I go on and I bump it up to 15 bucks, and our only customers are our opponents on the button and Poker Face Ash, who's on the big blind, and we're gonna go 3 ways to a flop of 10 jack 4. Ash is first to act and she decides to check her option, and the fact that I've missed this board completely doesn't stop me from firing off a $35 bullet, to which the button calls, and when it gets action back to Poker Face Ash, she decides to get froggy and repop it to 105. A good old check raise coming from early position screams out strength, and of course this is my exit. I get out of the way and Ash goes on and goes heads up with the button, who makes the call, and they go heads up to see up on the turn. I'm sure you guys have seen Poker Face Ash's video by now and know the outcome of this hand, but for those of you who haven't, make sure to check it out and see how this hand ends up, because I promise it's a crazy, crazy hand, and I am so glad I got out of the way.
Go.
Oh, yeah. Take it. No, I thought we were talking. Sorry.
You gotta finish it. Go, come on. For this next hand of the night, I'm on the big blind looking down at Pocket Jiggities. Brad Owen, thank you for the shout out. It folds to our opponent on the button, who bumps it up to 15 bucks. Now I know that Pocket Jiggities is a good enough hand to 3-bet this, but the fact that I've lost more money with Pocket Jiggities than any other pocket pair ever known to man warms up my tortilla in the wrong way. So I'm just gonna go with the safe route and go on in flat. We're gonna go heads up to see a flop of 7-3 jack, all of them of diamonds. We go on and flop a set, but not without a sweat. I mean, I know that flopping a flush is really, really hard and unlikely, but I just can't help and remember all the times that I said that in my head. Ooh, flopping a flush is unlikely. And then I proceed to lose to a flop flush. I mean, on top of that, we've already established that Pocket Jiggities suck balls and they should be removed from the deck permanently, but as much as I'm not comfortable with the situation, I do have a set, which means that I have outs just in case I am up against a flush. I check my option and the button fires off a bet of 20 bucks, to which I call, and we go heads up to see a deuce on the turn, which is what we call in the poker community a brick. I check again and my opponent doesn't let his foot off the accelerator as he fires off another bet of 40 bucks, to which I call, and we see a 10 on the river. I check again and he fires one more bullet of 75 bucks, to which I make the call, and he turns over pocket threes. Set over set. So unfortunate for him, because we've all been there and we know how much that sucks. But I mean, he would have lost more money if those 3 diamonds weren't out there. So in the end, he did lose the minimum. I won the minimum, but nonetheless, I'm happy. Hell freaking yeah.
The one and only Miss Poker Face Ash.
Yo.
Miss Ash, look, check this out. You climbed up the YouTube ranks so quick. Have you got used to the fame yet? I mean, what was it like when the first person said, hey, you're Ash?
I'll never forget. It was like after my 4th vlog, and I walked into the Venetian poker room and a guy recognized me, and I was like, this is crazy. And now ever since then, I don't think I've been in a poker room where someone didn't recognize me. And it's not about the fame or anything. It's just cool that like they love the content and they enjoy it, and it's a great feeling, honestly.
I bet. I don't know what that feels like.
Shut up.
Poker Face Ash, everybody.
Yeah, it was fun. This guy's cool. Subscribe.
For this last hand of the night, we play another double board bomb pot. So with 80 bucks in the middle, we go on and see 2 boards. The first one being 7-4-3 with 2 spades, and the second one being deuce 8-3 with 2 hearts. The small blind throws out a bet of 30 bucks, and we make the call after we look down at these beautiful cowboys. Two players down the road make the call as well, and we go 4 ways to a 3 of diamonds on the top and a 10 of hearts on the bottom. The small blind continues his aggression with a bet of 75 bucks, and I'm not ready to let go of this hand. I go on and I make the call. Both my opponents in late position fold, and we're gonna go heads up to see a deuce of clubs on the top and a jack of clubs on the bottom. The small blind fires off a bet of 300 bucks, which is about a pot-sized bet, and boy do I not feel comfortable with this whole situation. Ace 5 of hearts scoops the whole pot. Ace 5 offsuit takes only the top board. 5-6 takes only the top board, and if he has a flush on the bottom, then he just can't have trips. I have to put in $300 just to chop, and I'm trying to make the right decision in my head, and after my brain overheated and my check engine light turned on, I eventually make the call. My opponent turns over Ace 7 of hearts. He has a flush on the bottom, top pair, top kicker on the top, but my pocket kings are gonna take the top board, and we're gonna chop this one up. What a sweat. Now it's time to rack up and GTFO out of there. All right, fishes, that's all I have for you guys today. We went ahead and cashed out for 762 bucks, which is not a freaking bad day. Over 460 bucks in profit. I was put into some tough spots, tough decisions, but nonetheless, my donkey ass, my fish ass went ahead and made the right calls, the right folds, and I'm really happy for that. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, that notification bell. Follow me on TikTok at FishPoker31, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Oh, there we go. Now it's
Started.
You got it?
You got it.
All right, go ahead.
1, 2, go.
Hey, Key got an early start.
Nobody could beat the.
He finished already. Damn.
We're just waiting, right? We're in last place. Last place. Get him, man.
Cheers.
You can win. You could beat a couple of these cats. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.